Inimfon is a gifted communicator and facilitator whose trademark skill is in helping others nurture good ideas into real opportunities. She holds a BA English Education degree from the University of Uyo, Akwa Ibom State, Nigeria, and an advanced certificate in brand management from the London School of Public Relations. Ms. Etuk is also trained and certified by the Protocol School of Washington as a corporate etiquette and international protocol consultant. Her portfolio includes hands-on technical expertise and a unique range of experience in public relations, public communication, journalism, intergenerational diplomacy, gender development, social entrepreneurship, youth leadership, and mentorship. She is the founder of She Forum Africa, Premium Logic International, and Friendraiser Community Initiative, where she works across board with a team to facilitate positive change by improving individual and corporate images as well as social intelligence skills. EPR Global welcomes Inimfon to the 2020 Emergence Conference, Illuminate.
Hello there, I am excited and honored to be with you all at the 2020 Emergence Conference powered by Esther's Preparation Room, EPR Global Ministry, and prayer and professional networking platform with a vision to repair, renew, revive, and restore today's modern Christian woman. I am further inspired by this year's theme, Illuminate, being a clarion call to rise and shine as light in a very dark world. Speaking of dark, the year 2020 brought the world a fair share of dark spots. It arrived like every other year with so much promise, and we welcomed it with great enthusiasm and optimism about all the possibilities that one could possibly expect from the beginning of a new decade. Then COVID-19 descended and time stood still as the world was humbled. With the gloom and grief and pain and loss it brought upon many families, communities, and cities across the globe, the unmistakable option has been the need to evolve or perish. My keynote presentation is on the topic Education to Revelation, Staying Relevant in Changing Times. Without a doubt, these are uncertain times. We have already, in a bid to forge ahead or adapt, christened it the new normal. We have never been here before. Despite historical references to the Spanish flu and similar pandemics in the past, but everyone has been groping for answers, for adaptation skills and techniques, for helpful hints and tips, for leadership, inspirational, transformational leadership. I think it was for such a time as this that the scripture refers to us as the light of the world, not a light, the light. We are called to be torchbearers of the world. And my first ask to you at this moment is, where is your light? How brightly is your light shining? Who are you beaming your light for? Is your light like the scorching sun, blinding everything in sight? Or is it a warm glow that brightens and illuminates? Take a moment to think about where you are now. You know your peculiar circumstance. What is that one thing or a couple of things that need awakening inside of you? I want you to, pick up your pen and write this down so that you don't forget. What is that thing, that one thing that needs awakening inside of me? Personalize it. Write it down, because you will need to refer to it when you are going to sleep tonight and when you wake in the morning, and while you're boiling water for a cup of tea, and while you're in a taxi or driving to the grocery store, or to work. You would need to refer to it while you're brushing your teeth or doing the dishes. What needs awakening inside of me? What needs awakening inside of you? The answer you come up with is what will trigger your growth towards the place of relevance in the changing times. In taking the needed steps to support the growth that the times require, you will need courage. Courage. Not just any type of courage, but the courage to be still long enough to spot the patterns of what is working in your life, what is not working that you need to do away with completely, and what needs awakening. You will need the courage to think out of the box. I know we hear that a lot, but it takes a lot of courage. The courage to think beyond the present and future generations. Because if everything that you dedicate your life, your time and energy for is only for this generation, for the people around you that you see readily, then you are already being left behind. The changing times that we're in requires new world thinking that is larger than life. You've got to mentally position yourself on a timeless path of growth. Michelle Obama, in her book on becoming, says becoming requires equal parts patience and vigor. Becoming is never giving up on the idea that there is more growing to be done. Are you still growing, or have you stopped growing? Or do you think that there is no more growing for you? I ask again, what new knowledge have you picked up? How did you spend the lockdown? Moping while the clock ticked? You know, it's all too easy to stay stuck in what we know as our comfort zone and develop a natural resistance to change. But no matter how much we desperately want to wish this new normal away, it doesn't change the fact that change is here, and we have to willingly or unwillingly adapt. Naturally, many of us need that extra help or some degree of hand-holding to sharpen our focus on how to navigate the times. I recently had a light bulb moment listening to renowned speaker Fela Duratoye. He shared that in adapting, you don't step out of your comfort zone. You find your comfort zone, and then you excel within that comfort zone. Can you relate with the wisdom in that? I did. I thought it was really profound. Here's the truth I would like to share with you. The changing world we're in is for people who are game changers. Are you a game changer? How impactful are you as a game changer? Are you flowing with the tide? Or are you setting the course of action for others to follow? There is a difference. There is a difference. People who are flowing with the tide feed on the dregs from the table of others. I will say that again. People who are flowing with the tide feed on the dregs of the table of others. But game changers, they create the opportunities from which everyone else feeds. So which one are you? What opportunities are you creating? When COVID-19 happened, did you observe how the business trajectory changed phenomenally for a tiny little piece of fabric known as the face mask? Yes, you remember. On the brink of running out of surgical masks, improvisation kicked in and the creativity that drives the fashion industry was awakened like never before. Major fashion brands were not left out. Everyone stood to be counted. My friends, it is not enough to have an education from the best schools. Education, formal education is great, but in today's changing world, it is not enough. Education gives us a foundation. Knowledge, learning, continuous learning, and skills. That's what equips us for life's challenges. So if you're not picking up new skills, if you're not amassing new learnings, you are existing in the last decade. Balancing all of these with a thriving sense of creativity and responsiveness is key. Speaking of balance, what is referred today as work-life balance has become an increasing source of concern to both employers and employees. Achieving work-life balance can look impossible, and frankly, with a new digital normal, it seems like it's getting harder by the day. Let's start from the moment your alarm rings in the morning. It jars us into consciousness, right? You hear the alarm ring and suddenly your brain begins to whirl. You know, the consciousness that is the rat race of the day ahead. The consciousness of the very real struggle to earn a living, maintain a home, pursue our passions and goals, whatever it is. At this point, I cannot emphasize enough the importance of focus and prioritization. Our greatest problem, especially for us women, our greatest problem is that we try to pursue all of our passions at once and we treat everything as important. The truth, my dear sisters, my dear friends, is that everything is not equally important. When you try to do everything on the same level of importance, you are purchasing a free, non-refundable recipe for burnout and early death. Let that sink in. So what's my counsel to you at this point? Do fewer things and do them well. Today's world is about specialization. Focus on what gives you optimal results. You can excel at anything once you stop trying to do everything. You can excel at anything once you stop trying to do everything. Let me put in a word on mental health. Please pay attention to your mental health. Sometimes all you need to do to reset your brain to function creatively and prefer impactful, bankable solutions is to sleep. Just sleep, shut down, sleep. The same way your phone gets cranky or your laptop gets cranky when it's been working nonstop and you need to shut it down to restart. It's the same way you need to get some sleep. You need to get some sleep. Shut down your brain, sleep, rest. Take time to get a decent night's sleep. What does this do for you? It boosts your emotional intelligence. It recharges your brain and keeps you level-headed enough to take all those decisions necessary for you to thrive and excel. You know, as this year ends and we look forward to a new year, determine now to run away from negative self-talk. They only serve as a distraction from pursuing your goals. Whatever state your life is in right now, love it. Live it and make a daily choice to be happy against all odds. Don't get hung up on the little things. They tend to slow us down. They tend to slow you down. Don't wallow in regret over the things that you couldn't change about your past. We're talking about staying relevant. And the times are changing, so you've got to evolve with the times. Rather, let the beauty of each new day arm you with the zeal to approach things differently and creatively. Don't just take, and take. Some of us don't know how to do anything but take. Be a giver. Be a giver. It is a truly empowering feeling when you give to others. Bible principles are never wrong. Give us, never lack. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. Some of us are so scared. We don't want to put our foot forward because we're afraid of making mistakes. You know, mistakes are growth enablers, so long as we are able to learn from them. This is very important. Don't live life looking for who is in charge or who you can blame. Many of us would rather blame others for our indiscretions and bad decisions rather than boldly take responsibility for our actions. We don't like responsibility because we don't like to deal with consequences. Life is all about consequences. We sacrifice the honor of leading for the comfort of never having to be wrong. You've got to try. It's the only way you will find out what works. I think living life dodging responsibilities is really a huge waste of potential. You can do better. We can do better. I can do better. So what are we waiting for? Let's give it a shot. Today's changing world requires people who are unafraid to take responsibility for their actions in every situation, good or bad. It is called self-leadership. Everyone needs self-leadership to thrive in today's world. It is one of the numerous marks that make people respect us, admire us, and look up to us. As I conclude, let me ask a few more questions that you can take the time to ponder over in your quiet time. Who are you? Who do people think you are? Who are you meant to be? What is your identity? What inner conversations are you having between your spirit and your mind? What are the things you tell yourself about yourself? What is the voice that is resonating in your head? What is the biggest talent that you bring to your business, your calling, or your vocation? How in tune are you with your purpose? What drum beats are you dancing to? Does the rhythm match your purpose? Is your life's journey accompanied by grace? Take your time to come up with your own answers for each of these questions. And while you're at it, remember that your life's purpose finds expression in time and place. Look around you. Can you say that you are in the right place to fulfill your life's purpose? Are you well positioned for your light to beam through? My sisters, my friends, and everyone who's listening to me, we are never late, not by God's timetable. We are never late. The time is always right for who we need to be. The question is, are we where we need to be for who we need to be to emerge, thrive, and illuminate? Are we where we need to be for who we need to be to emerge, thrive, and illuminate? I thank you for listening.